Welcome to Hello from Russia. Let's explore our beautiful country. But today I'm not going to show you around the city center, around the Kremlin. Let's explore the north of Moscow, namely Northen River Terminal. Built in the 30s, it is a great example of Stalinist architecture. The terminal looks like a giant ship, and it is for a reason. Many river cruise routes start here. Jump on a ship and travel to St. Petersburg, Kazan, Nizhny Novgorod, Volgograd, Tver, Voloam, and many other cities. You all know that the main waterway through Moscow is the Moscow River, but this is not the Moscow River, this is the Moscow Canal. The Moscow River goes directly through the city center. The Volga flows 100 kilometers up north Moscow. The canal connects these two rivers and makes Moscow the port of 5 seas. Back in the 30s, it was a real piece of engineering art. A number of locks, pumping stations, and dams made the canal a masterpiece of Soviet science and engineering. The canal played an important role in defense of Moscow. In 1941, the water was pumped from the canal, which prevented the Nazi from encircling the city from the north and south. Today, I invite you to join my little trip along the Moscow Canal. Let's learn some history and meet Mother Volga. In the 30s, Moscow grew a lot, and the city really had the shortage of drinking water. That's why it was decided to build the Moscow Canal. Canal is 128 kilometers long, and it was built by the prisoners of Gulag, or its local division, Dmitrov-Lag. Very typical for those years. The construction started in 1931. And in 1937, Volga waters already ran through the canal. The problem of water famine was resolved. Nowadays, the canal provides about half of Moscow's water consumption. Moreover, Moscow became a huge water transport hub. The first ship from Tver to Moscow traveled in 1937. The canal was already covered with ice and snow when we traveled along it, but the Volga waters are too strong to congeal from the first December frosts. In the city of Dubna, at the place where the canal flows into Volga, there is one of the world's tallest statues of Lenin. But Lenin was not alone here. Originally, there were 2 statues. One statue to Lenin, and the other statue on the other bank of the Moscow Canal to Stalin. I do not know what it looked like back then, but I think it was something like... Okay, jokes apart. Yes, there were 2 statues, but in 1962, the statue of Stalin was demolished because, I think you know, Nikita Khrushchev in 1956, he accused Stalin and the cult of his personality. Since that time, most of statues to Stalin in the Soviet Union were demolished. And this is the monument to the builders of the Moscow Canal. By the way, it used to be called Canal Moscow-Volga. It says, to heroes and victims, memory forever. Just like at many other huge construction sites of the 30s, the prisoners of Gulag were the main workforce building the canal. Thousands and thousands of innocent people went through the construction. It is them who created the locks and reservoirs, which we use till nowadays. And some historians say that more than 200,000 prisoners died. Some even call the Moscow Canal the canal on the bones. They look interesting. You can see the Christian cross, the Muslim sign, and the Jewish star, because the victims were people of different nationalities and different religion. For whatever sad the history of the canal is, the canal itself was and still is one of the greatest achievements of Soviet science and engineering. It's time to keep moving and continue our true Russian adventure. Today we stayed in a very interesting hotel. It used to be a summer camp for kids during the Soviet times. You know that in the Soviet Union it was very popular. Kids came to such camps and had fun together playing games. Now this place is decorated in Soviet style with statues and banners to provide the impression that we are back in USSR. In this hotel, you can meet old Soviet cars, characters of our favorite Soviet cartoons, some original banners with smiling faces of workers and kolkhoz people. Of course, you will find installations dedicated to the conquest of space and great patriotic war. But frankly speaking, some objects look like freak show. For example, old Soviet Volga and Louis Vuitton symbols. In general, I would say that the hotel is exploiting the brand of USSR very well. It definitely attracts nostalgic hipsters. Who would think that Lenin will help making money?
You are boy, back in the US, back in the US, back in the USSR.
This statue reminds us of a famous Soviet sculpture, the worker and the kolkhoz woman. But instead of hammer and sickle, these two have a bottle and a glass. To be honest, to me, it looks even a bit offensive. And this is the reception, and it also has some Soviet relics. But the most interesting part is this banner. You know that the Soviet Union was very famous with its propaganda banners, but this one is absolutely anti-Soviet. Just in Soviet style, it says, if you drink vodka, take care of your pussy. This hotel has an animal farm with deer, and we are going to make friends and give this deer some food.
Привет, 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 ребята, давайте, Надя, держите.
Unique experience. I feel like a princess in a Disney movie. Deer are not the only dwellers of the farm. We made friends with little rabbits and many other funny creatures. Look, this is our little house. This is Winter Wonderland. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells. The house went beyond our expectations. It was perfect outside and inside. Just look. Old authentic furniture and the real Russian stove. We had to add log every hour to make sure the fire goes on. Now we're going to eat shashlik, Russian barbecue. Yes, shashlik or grilled meat is a big tradition for Russians. It was a great weekend, but all good things come to an end, and we had to return to Moscow. On the way back home, we decided to stop not far from village Oriva to take a look at some Soviet art. And we stopped on the way in the middle of nowhere. This is literally middle of nowhere. There is no village here, but there are interesting Soviet statues. This composition is called the sport because some of the statues, they represent sportsmen. This is a good example of Soviet architecture. It was really strange to see the sculptures in the forest, but these decorations just prove how important the canal was back in the 30s. Our trip is over. We're back to Moscow. I hope that you learned something interesting about Russian Soviet history, our traditions. Subscribe, leave your comment and like, and see you next time.